My name is Romeo Oriogun, and I'm the author of The Gathering of Bastards, a book published by the African Poetry Book Series at the University of Nebraska Press. Um, I'm so happy to be part of this event, and I'll be reading two poems. The first one is called It Begins with Love. It's a poem I wrote when I was at Ghana, living in Accra, about 5, 6 years ago now. And it's a poem that deals with the loneliness of exile. It begins with love. In the fishing village, a man whispers, "Let nobody bloated and gone find its way to my boat." He gives thanks to the wild, to the ants running from his sandals, to the vultures standing over the roadkill. Romeo, the day begins with love, I tell you. After a long night, after the rain, after the sleep of hibiscus, the world opens its hands to sunlight. There is time for everything. For the child down the street struggling with his clarinet, for the laborer kissing his wife's belly, for the newborn saying color. It begins with love, I tell you, even prayers. And I have stood in the middle of a field amid the gaze of antelopes. I have prayed for thunder, a rod on my head, I, who lived for 10 months without a friend, whose sole fear is the world so full of love, so full of loneliness. I have panicked, wondering if to drown a body is to hold a part of myself. And from across the open field we hear it, a fisherman's rescue call. Another body washed out the river, we run toward it. It begins with love, I tell you, even burial, the hand covered with sand, a crown of seaweed. I walk to him, a song lifts me. O me, spare us in death, spare us in life. In the strangeness of villages I suffer, what else is there to do? And the second poem I'll be reading is called Wida. It's a poem that tries to, talk about the slave trade that happened on the coast of West Africa, the departure. So, Wida. In the house of pythons, a man met his fear in snakes wrapped around his neck. The man, a tourist from rural Michigan, has come to experience Africa. The man said, the task is to understand the land, not to claim it. There's history in the crash of waves, and in the water, we're reminded every name we know is written in a language that came through the arrival of ships, through the betrayal of water. Alone in the afternoon, I wondered if this land, also called Door of No Return, still recognizes the sound of whips, clangs of chains, the moment blood and sand met on the hottest day of the year. And I ran into the coolness of water, which means I ran into the safety of water, which means I ran into the violence of history. Thank you.